The year was 2087. After decades of searching the stars, humanity finally got what it had been waiting for. A large silver ship, shaped like a teardrop, entered Earth's orbit. It didn't try to hide. It didn't come with weapons ready. It simply arrived and sent a message to every radio receiver on the planet. Greetings, people of Earth. We are representatives of the Galactic Confederation, an alliance of 327 sapient species. We come in peace and wish to establish formal relations with your world. The message played in every language on Earth, perfectly translated. Panic, excitement, fear, and hope spread across the globe as humans realized they were not alone in the universe. World leaders gathered quickly at the United Nations headquarters in New York. After 3 days of heated debates, they formed a response team. Commander William Carter would lead this team. He had 20 years of military service and had studied possible alien life forms for the last 5. At 45, his dark hair showed streaks of gray, but his blue eyes remained sharp and alert. Don't care if they say they come in peace, William told his superiors. We need to be careful. Working alongside William was Dr. Olivia Johnson. At 38, she had revolutionized language processing with algorithms that could decode any human language from just a few samples. Her work had made the universal translator possible, the very tool that had allowed humanity to understand the alien message. They already speak our languages, Olivia said during the first planning meeting. That means they've been watching us for some time. The alien ship, which called itself the Stellar Harmony, requested permission to land at the International Space Agency headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. After careful consideration, Earth's leaders agreed. On a clear Tuesday morning, the ship descended slowly from the sky. It made no sound as it landed on the massive concrete pad prepared for it. Thousands of people watched from behind safety barriers. Millions more watched on screens around the world. William stood at the front of the human welcome party, dressed in his formal military uniform. Olivia stood beside him, wearing a simple blue suit, her tablet computer ready to record everything. Remember, William whispered to the 20 people behind him, no sudden movements. Keep your hands visible at all times, and for God's sake, don't touch them unless they touch you first. A seam appeared in the smooth silver hull of the alien ship. It widened into a doorway, and a ramp extended to the ground. The humans held their breath. 3 figures emerged from the ship. They were tall and thin, with 4 arms and skin that shimmered with a blue-green color. They wore what appeared to be environmental suits, complete with clear helmets that showed their oval heads and large dark eyes. The alien in front raised a hand in greeting. I am Ambassador Zixthar of the Arthunian species. On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I extend greetings to the people of Earth. William stepped forward and bowed slightly. Ambassador Zixthar, I am Commander William Carter of the United States of America, representing Earth's nations. We welcome you to our world. The aliens moved down the ramp carefully. William noticed they seemed to struggle with each step, moving as if the ground might break beneath them. The 3 aliens looked around constantly, their movements jumpy and nervous. Olivia noticed it too. She whispered to William, "They're afraid." When the aliens reached the bottom of the ramp, William guided them toward the building where formal talks would begin. As they walked, the aliens moved with extreme caution, their forearms occasionally reaching out to steady themselves. Inside the conference room, the aliens refused the offered seats. Instead, they remained standing, their environmental suits humming loudly. Is there something wrong with your suits? Olivia asked. We can adjust the room temperature or atmosphere if needed. Ambassador Zixthar's voice came through a translator on his suit. The suits are functioning as designed, Dr. Johnson. They are simply working harder than usual due to Earth's extreme conditions. William frowned. Extreme conditions? Our scientists believed our atmosphere would be comfortable for your species based on the data we shared. The 3 aliens looked at each other before Zixthar spoke again. Commander Carter, there appears to be a misunderstanding. Your world is not what we would call comfortable. In fact, Earth is classified in Confederation records as a Class 13 Deathworld. The room fell silent. William and Olivia exchanged confused looks. A Deathworld? Olivia asked. What does that mean? The second alien stepped forward. I am Science Officer Vrel Nax. A Deathworld is our term for planets with conditions so hostile that they should not be able to support complex life. We rank them from Class 1 to Class 13, with Class 13 being the most extreme. William's face hardened. And Earth is a Class 13? Earth is the Class 13, Vrel Nax said. The only inhabited Class 13 world we have ever discovered. No other world, with intelligent life ranks above Class 9 in our records. The humans in the room looked at each other in shock. Olivia was the first to recover. What makes Earth so dangerous to you? She asked. Ambassador Zixthar gestured around them. Everything. Your gravity is 1.5 times stronger than the Confederation. Average? Your atmospheric pressure would crush most species. Your temperature range is extreme, from freezing to boiling within the same regions. Your radiation levels from your sun alone would kill most Confederation species within days without protection. Vrel Nax continued. Your world has more predatory species than all other known inhabited worlds combined. Your oceans cover most of your planet with corrosive liquid water. Your weather patterns include storms that would destroy most Confederation settlements. Your geological activity, earthquakes, volcanoes, happens with frightening frequency. The third alien spoke for the first time. I am Security Chief Krazur. What my colleagues have not mentioned is perhaps most concerning. Your microorganisms. What you call bacteria and viruses exist here in numbers and varieties that our scientists find difficult to believe. The biological warfare happening on a microscopic level on your world every day exceeds anything in our medical records. William tried to process this information, but this is just normal for us. Earth is just Earth. That, said Ambassador Zixthar, is what truly frightens us, Commander Carter. If Earth is just normal to your species, what does that make humans? The room fell silent again, as both humans and aliens considered the question. Olivia looked at the nervous aliens, then back at her fellow humans. For the first time, she saw her own world through alien eyes, not as the cradle of human civilization, but as a deadly, hostile environment that had shaped humanity into something unique in the galaxy. It makes us survivors, she said quietly, and perhaps that's something the galaxy needs. 6 months passed since the aliens first landed on Earth. After many meetings, the Galactic Confederation invited Earth to join as a new member. The invitation surprised many humans. They had learned that some alien species in the Confederation feared Deathworlders like humans. But curiosity won out over fear. The alien scientist wanted to study humans more closely. Olivia Johnson stood in her apartment, looking at the view of New York City. At 49, she never imagined she would become the director of interspecies relations. Her phone rang. Dr. Johnson speaking, she answered. Olivia, it's William. Have you packed yet? She smiled at the sound of Commander William Carter's voice. In the past 6 months, they had worked closely together. William had been against leaving Earth at first, but now he would lead security for the first human group to visit Centauri Prime, the Confederation's main meeting place. Almost done, she said. Are you still worried about the trip? William sighed. Not worried, just cautious. We'll be the first humans to travel on an alien ship for interstellar travel. Who knows what could go wrong? That's why the president asked for you specifically, Olivia reminded him. Your caution keeps people safe. 2 days later, Olivia and William met the rest of their team at the launch site in Kenya. Dr. Gregory Duncan was already there checking his equipment. At 36, Gregory was Earth's top expert on ecosystems. His job was to learn about alien environments and explain Earth's diverse ecosystems to the Confederation. Lisa Perry stood nearby, reviewing notes on her tablet. At 29, she was the youngest member of the team. As a diplomatic aide with EE, training in human cultures, she would help bridge the gap between human and alien ways of life. Everyone ready? William asked as they gathered near the landing pad. The alien ship that would carry them to Centauri Prime was smaller than the first ship that visited Earth. It was called the Swift Journey and looked like a silver football with smooth sides. Ambassador Zixthar greeted them at the entrance ramp. "Welcome, Earth representatives. Our journey will take 14 Earth days. We have prepared special quarters for your comfort." The humans followed Zixthar inside. The alien ship was bright and clean, with curved walls and floors that seemed to glow softly. Their rooms were larger than expected, with beds, desks, and what looked like bathrooms. These quarters were designed based on human living spaces, Zixthar explained. "We've set the gravity in this section to Earth normal, though the rest of the ship uses Confederation standard gravity." "What's Confederation standard gravity?" Lisa asked. "Approximately 0.7 of Earth gravity," Zixthar replied. "Most species find Earth gravity uncomfortably heavy." Later that day, after the ship left Earth's orbit, the humans decided to explore. They found a large room where crew members gathered to eat. As they entered, several aliens looked up in surprise. "May we join you?" Olivia asked a group of aliens sitting at a table. The aliens seemed nervous but nodded. As the humans sat down, they noticed the aliens watching their every move. "You move with such ease," one alien said. The translator badge on Olivia's shirt identified the speaker as Dreltor, an engineer. "Even in this high-gravity section?" William looked confused. "This section is set to Earth gravity. It feels normal to us." The aliens exchanged looks of surprise. "You live in this heavy gravity all the time?" another alien asked. "Yes," Gregory replied. "Is that unusual?" "Most Confederation species evolved on worlds with much less gravity," Dreltor explained. "Even short exposure to Earth-like gravity causes fatigue and stress on our bodies." After eating, William decided to check out the ship's exercise room. The other humans went with him, curious about what aliens used for exercise. The room had various strange machines that the humans didn't recognize. William looked around, then asked Dreltor, "Do you have anything like a running track or treadmill?" The alien guided them to a machine in the corner. "This simulates running, though most species use it for short bursts only." William thanked him and stepped onto the machine. He set it to a moderate pace and began jogging. After 5 minutes, he noticed a crowd of aliens gathering to watch him. "Is something wrong?" he asked, still running. "How long can you continue that activity?" an alien doctor asked. William shrugged. "I usually run for about an hour each morning." The aliens murmured in disbelief. The doctor approached with a scanning device. "Your respiratory and cardiovascular systems are functioning at levels that would be impossible for most Confederation species." William slowed the machine and stepped off. "Humans have good endurance. It's not unusual." "Not unusual for Deathworlders, perhaps," the doctor said with something like respect in his voice. As days passed, the humans discovered more differences between themselves and the aliens. The temperature on most of the ship felt cold to them, around 15 degrees Celsius. The aliens considered this comfortable. In the ship's dining area, the humans found they could eat many foods from different worlds after proper testing, while most aliens could only digest food from their home planets. "Your digestive system is remarkably adaptive," the ship's food scientist told Gregory after watching him eat 3 different alien fruits without problems. Most species would get very sick mixing food sources like that. By the 10th day of travel, word had spread throughout the ship about the humans. Crew members would watch them exercise, eat, and even sleep, with permission. The aliens were amazed by how little sleep humans needed compared to most species. On the 12th day, an alarm sounded throughout the ship. The humans rushed to the control room to find the crew working frantically at their stations. "What's happening?" William asked Zixthar. "A coolant leak in the engine section," the ambassador replied. "The temperature there has risen to dangerous levels." "How dangerous?" Olivia asked. "The repairs need to be made quickly, but the temperature has reached 40 degrees Celsius, and the oxygen level is low," an engineer explained. "No crew member can survive those conditions long enough to fix the problem." William looked at Gregory, then back at the aliens. 40 degrees? That's hot but not deadly for humans. We can handle that for a while. The aliens stared at him. You could survive those. Conditions? Zixthar asked in disbelief. Sure, Gregory said. It's like a hot summer day back home. If you show us what needs to be fixed, we can help. 20 minutes later, William and Gregory returned to the control room, sweaty but successful. The ship's systems were back to normal. The ship's captain approached them and bowed deeply. You may have saved this vessel and everyone aboard. To enter that environment willingly. It confirms everything they say about Earth humans. What do they say about us? Lisa asked. That you aren't just from a death world, the captain replied. You carry that death world within you. You thrive in conditions that would kill most beings in the galaxy. As the swift journey approached Centauri Prime, Olivia stood with William by a viewing window. The space station came into view, a massive spinning wheel surrounded by hundreds of ships. They're afraid of us, William said quietly. Did you notice? The way they watch us, like we might break something or hurt someone just by being here. Olivia nodded. They are afraid, but they're also fascinated. We're like nothing they've ever seen before. Is that good or bad? William wondered. I don't know, Olivia admitted. But I think we're about to find out. The human team stepped off the ship onto Centauri Prime. The space station was huge, spinning slowly to create artificial gravity. Olivia noticed right away that the floor felt strange under her feet, like walking on a bouncy castle. The gravity here is set to Confederation standard, Ambassador Zixthar explained. About 70% of Earth normal. Most species find it comfortable. William bounced slightly on his toes. Feels like walking on the moon, he said. A group of aliens waited for them in a large, round room. They stood behind a curved table and wore colorful robes. In the center sat a tall, thin alien with pale green skin. Welcome to the Galactic Confederation, the green alien said. I am High Counselor Vexnar. We have been eager to meet representatives from Earth. Olivia stepped forward and bowed slightly. Thank you for your welcome, High Counselor. We are honored to be here. Vexnar's large eyes blinked slowly. Many of our members have concerns about admitting a species from a Class 13 death world. To address these concerns, we have prepared a series of demonstrations. William frowned. What kind of demonstrations? Nothing harmful, Vexnar assured them. We simply wish to better understand your capabilities in a controlled environment. Gregory leaned close to Olivia. They want to see what the scary Deathworlders can do, he whispered. The first test took place the next day in a large, empty room. Representatives from many alien species watched from behind clear walls. William, Olivia, Gregory, and Lisa stood in the center of the room, feeling like animals in a zoo. This will be a simple test of physical strength, an alien scientist announced. We have representatives from 12 species who will attempt to move these weights. The scientist pointed to a set of metal blocks of different sizes. One by one, aliens of different shapes and sizes tried to lift the weights. Some managed the smallest ones. A few lifted the medium-sized blocks. None could lift the largest. Now would one of the Earth humans please try? The scientist asked. Lisa stepped forward. She was the smallest of the human team, only 5'4" tall. She walked to the largest block that none of the aliens could lift. May I try this one? She asked. The alien scientist looked surprised but nodded. Lisa bent her knees, gripped the handles on the block, and lifted it off the ground. It was heavy, but she could hold it for several seconds before setting it down. The watching aliens murmured in shock. Some backed away from the windows. That weight is calibrated to 150 standard units, the scientist said, his voice shaking slightly. No known species has lifted more than 120. Lisa shrugged. It's heavy, but not impossible. William could probably lift twice that amount. The next test involved running on a track. Gregory volunteered. The aliens explained that he would run until he felt tired, then stop. Gregory nodded and began jogging at an easy pace. After 20 minutes, the alien observers became restless. After 45 minutes, they started whispering to each other in concern. Gregory continued running, barely breaking a sweat. How long can he continue? An alien asked Olivia. Gregory runs marathons for fun, Olivia replied. That's about 42 kilometers. He could probably keep this pace for hours. The aliens ended the test after an hour, claiming they had sufficient data. The most surprising test came on the third day. The human team was led to a laboratory where various small containers sat on a table. These contained substances found across the galaxy, the head scientist explained. We would like to test your reaction to them. The scientist picked up a container with a dark liquid. This is what you call caffeine, found in your coffee drink. In most Confederation species, it causes severe neurological damage and death. William laughed. Caffeine? I drink coffee every morning. The aliens looked at each other nervously. One of them handed William a small cup of coffee. He drank it in one gulp and smiled. Could use some sugar, but not bad. The scientist pointed to another container. This substance, capsaicin, is a powerful neurotoxin That's what makes chili peppers spicy, Lisa interrupted. I love spicy food. The alien stepped back as if Lisa had announced she enjoyed drinking poison. And this, the scientist said, pointing to a third container with shaking hands, is ethanol alcohol, an industrial solvent that's in beer and wine, and Gregory said. Many humans drink it socially. The tests continued for days. The humans demonstrated their ability to withstand cold temperatures that would freeze most alien species and hot temperatures that would cook them. They showed how they could hold their breath underwater for minutes at a time. They explained how humans could eat food from many different sources. After a week of testing, the Confederation Council met again with the human team. Many more council members attended this time, curious about the Deathworlders. Your species is remarkable, High Counselor Vexnar said. We had reports, but seeing your abilities firsthand is different. These are normal human capabilities, Olivia explained. We're not special among our kind. That is what concerns many council members, Vexnar replied. If average humans possess such extraordinary attributes, what might your strongest, most capable individuals be like? During the meeting, something unexpected happened. An alarm sounded and red lights flashed. A voice spoke in several alien languages. What's happening? William asked. An environmental system failure in Section 12. Ambassador Zixthar translated. That's where the Maraxian delegation is staying. What's the problem? Olivia asked. The temperature control has failed, an aide explained. The section is heating up rapidly. For Maraxians, temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius are fatal. William stood immediately. Show me where this section is. I can help. Despite protests, William followed station workers to Section 12. Inside, the temperature had already reached 35 degrees. The Maraxians, small blue-skinned aliens, were collapsing on the floor, unable to move toward the exits. Without hesitation, William entered the section. He picked up 2 Maraxians at a time and carried them to safety. Back and forth, he went, sweat pouring down his face but otherwise showing no signs of distress. He saved 14 Maraxians before repair crews fixed the temperature system. News of William's rescue spread quickly through Centauri Prime. Recordings showed him carrying aliens to safety through what would have been deadly heat for their species, suffering only minor discomfort himself. That evening, Olivia overheard 2 aliens talking in a corridor. What if they decide to use their abilities against us? One asked. A species that evolved on such a world must be naturally aggressive. I've heard some council members suggest limiting their access to Confederation technology, the other replied. Perhaps restricting them to their own solar system would be safer for everyone. Meanwhile, Gregory made a discovery. He had been studying the Confederation's biological database and found something interesting. Earth doesn't just have extreme physical conditions, he told the others in their quarters. It has more predatory species than all other known inhabited worlds combined. To the Confederation, we're the apex predators from the deadliest hunting ground in space. Olivia sat quietly, thinking. No wonder they're afraid of us, but they don't understand. Surviving on Earth didn't just make us strong. It made us problem solvers, William finished for her. We don't just survive by being tough. We survive by working together and finding solutions. We need to show them that, Olivia said, before their fear leads them to decisions we'll all regret. 8 months passed since Earth joined the Galactic Confederation as a probationary member. The human delegation had been traveling between Earth and Centauri Prime, building relationships with alien species. Some aliens remained afraid of humans, but others became curious about the Deathworlders. Olivia sat in her office on Centauri Prime when her communication device beeped. The face of a worried-looking alien appeared on the screen. Director Johnson, I am Captain Lundvex of the Science. Vessel Quantum Explorer. We have an emergency situation. Olivia sat up straight. What's happened, Captain? Our research vessel has lost contact with our outpost in the Epsilon Eridani system. The outpost was a joint Human Confederation research station. We fear something has gone terribly wrong. Olivia called an emergency meeting. William, Gregory, and Lisa gathered quickly in the conference room along with Ambassador Zixthar and several Confederation officials. What do we know about this outpost? William asked. Captain Lundvex displayed images of a small research station on a cold, rocky planet. Epsilon Eridani IV. The outpost was established 3 months ago to study an organism found frozen beneath the ice. Initial reports described it as unlike anything we had seen before. Then, 2 days ago, all communication stopped. Have rescue ships been sent? Olivia asked. 2 ships approached the planet but could not land, Lundvex explained. They reported strange energy readings that interfered with their systems. They barely managed to return to safe distance. The Confederation Council debated what to do. Some suggested destroying the outpost from orbit. Others wanted to wait and see if the problem resolved itself. No one wanted to risk more lives by sending another rescue mission. William listened to the debate with growing frustration. Finally, he stood up. While you argue, people are dying on that outpost, he said firmly. I volunteer to lead a rescue mission. The council members looked at him in surprise. The interference prevents our ships from landing, a counselor replied. It's too dangerous. Then we'll use a human shuttle, William said. Our technology is more basic than yours. It might not be affected by the interference. The council refused to allow the mission. It was too risky, they said. But William wasn't going to give up. Later that night, William met with his team in their quarters. I'm going to that outpost, he told them. Those researchers need help. I won't sit here while the council debates. You'll need a team, Gregory said. I'm coming with you. Lisa nodded. Me too. Olivia looked troubled. This will violate council orders. We could lose our membership in the Confederation. Some things are more important than politics, William replied. There are 15 researchers on that outpost, including 3 humans. I won't abandon them. Olivia thought for a moment, then nodded. I'll help coordinate from here, but you'll need more people with specialized skills. William reached out to other humans working on Centauri Prime. 2 more joined the mission, Dr. Samantha Wright, a virologist studying extreme organisms, and Frank Miller, a former soldier now working as a security expert. Before dawn, the small team of humans took a shuttle without permission. William piloted the craft away from Centauri Prime, setting course for Epsilon Eridani. The council will be angry, Frank said, checking his equipment. They'll get over it if we save those researchers, William replied. The journey took 3 days. As they approached Epsilon Eridani IV, they began to experience the interference. Our main computer is failing, Gregory reported. Communication systems down. Switch to backup systems, William ordered. Mechanical controls only. The shuttle shook violently as they entered the planet's atmosphere. Outside, they could see swirling clouds of strange glowing particles. Temperature dropping rapidly, Samantha reported. It's negative 70 degrees Celsius outside. The radiation levels are 20 times what most Confederation species can tolerate, Lisa added, checking her instruments. William guided the shuttle to a landing near the research outpost. It was a dome-shaped building partially buried in ice. No lights were visible. The team put on their environmental suits designed for Earth explorers in the Antarctic. The suits were heavy but effective against cold. Remember, we don't know what we're facing, William warned. Stay together and keep your emergency beacons active." They stepped out of the shuttle into the freezing darkness. The air was thick, with glowing particles that swirled around them. Their lights barely penetrated the strange fog. At the outpost entrance, they found the door frozen shut. Frank used a portable heater to melt the ice, and they forced the door open. Inside, emergency lights cast a dim red glow. The temperature was barely warmer than outside. They found the first researcher, an alien, frozen solid in the entrance hall. "The life support systems must have failed," Gregory said sadly. They moved deeper into the facility. In the main laboratory, they found more bodies. Some frozen, some appeared to have suffocated. "Look at this," Samantha called. She pointed to a large containment unit in the center of the lab. The glass was shattered and something had escaped. "The organism they were studying," Lisa said. "It got out." They heard a noise from a side room. William signaled the others to be quiet and carefully approached the door. Inside, they found 3 survivors, 2 aliens and 1 human, Dr. Alan Garcia, huddled around a small emergency heater. "Carter?" Garcia croaked when he saw them. "How did you get here?" "We'll explain later," William replied, checking Garcia's condition. "What happened here?" Garcia's voice was weak. "The organism. It escaped containment. It absorbs energy from its surroundings. Electrical, thermal, everything. The colder it got, the more active it became. That's why the temperature dropped so quickly," Samantha realized. "It's feeding on the energy. It also generates some kind of electromagnetic field," Garcia continued. "Knocked out our systems. The worse it got, the more energy we used trying to fight it, which only made it stronger." William nodded grimly. "Where is it now?" "Everywhere," Garcia whispered. "It's in the walls, the floor. It's growing, spreading. We tried to warn the Confederation, but our messages couldn't get through." Samantha studied the readouts on her handheld device. "It's reacting to electrical impulses. That's why it's interfering with technology. Our electronic equipment is drawing it to us. That's why the Confederation ships couldn't land," Gregory added. "Their advanced systems were overwhelmed. But our more basic technology isn't as affected," William thought quickly. "We need to get these survivors to the shuttle. Then we need to contain this organism before it spreads further." "How do we fight something that feeds on energy?" Frank asked. Samantha looked up suddenly. "We don't fight it with energy. We use mechanical tools, minimal electronics, like old-fashioned Earth technology. Earth solutions for a problem that's too much for advanced aliens," William said with a grim smile. "Let's get to work." The team moved quickly. They carried the survivors to their shuttle, using battery-powered heaters to keep them warm. Then, using hand tools and mechanical devices, they began to implement Samantha's plan to contain the organism. As they worked, William thought about the irony of the situation. The very qualities that made Earth a death world, the harsh conditions that forced humans to develop resilience and adaptability, were now their greatest strengths. In conditions that killed advanced aliens, humans could not only survive, but find solutions. The organism had never encountered beings from a world more hostile than itself. The shuttle returned to Centauri Prime with the survivors from Epsilon Eridani. Word of what happened spread quickly throughout the Confederation. The humans had not only survived conditions that killed dozens of advanced aliens, but they had contained the dangerous organism using simple tools and creative thinking. William, Samantha, Gregory, Frank, and Lisa became instant celebrities. Alien delegates who had once avoided the humans now sought them out, eager to learn more about these remarkable beings from Earth. "They're looking at us differently now," Olivia told William as they walked through the main hall of the Confederation Council building. "With respect instead of fear." William nodded. Near-death experiences have a way of changing perspectives. The way they had contained the organism was almost too simple for the advanced aliens to believe. Using mechanical pumps and containers with no electronic parts, the humans had created a cold trap that attracted the energy-hungry organism, then sealed it in a container made of Earth materials that could withstand extreme cold. A month after, The Epsilon Eridani incident. The Confederation Council called a special meeting. Earth's probationary status was up for review. The main chamber was packed with representatives from hundreds of alien species. High Counselor Vex Nar called the meeting to order. We gather today to discuss the status of Earth in the Galactic Confederation, Vex Nar announced. The events at Epsilon Eridani have caused many to reconsider their views of humans. Ambassador Zixthar stood up. When Earth first joined us, many feared what it meant to welcome beings from a Class 13 Deathworld. Now we see that those fears were misplaced. The humans don't just possess physical abilities beyond our own. They approach problems differently. Olivia stepped forward to address the council. For weeks, she had been preparing for this moment. Honored council members, she began. When you first called Earth a Deathworld, we were surprised. To us, Earth is just home. But now we understand what makes Earth different and what makes humans unique in the galaxy. She paused, looking around the chamber. Evolution on Earth didn't just create stronger, more resilient beings. It created problem solvers. Our greatest strength isn't our physical capabilities, but our adaptability and creativity, born from surviving on a world that never stopped challenging us. Screens around the chamber displayed images of Earth's diverse environments: frozen tundra, scorching deserts, dense jungles, steep mountains, and deep oceans. We don't see ourselves as Deathworlders, Olivia continued. We see ourselves as life-bringers. What you call a hostile environment, we call home. What you see as impossible conditions, we see as challenges to overcome. William stood next to her, adding, "This perspective doesn't make us dangerous to the Confederation. It makes us uniquely qualified to help expand the boundaries of what you consider possible." Gregory stepped forward with a series of charts and models. Based on our studies of Confederation ecological data, we've identified thousands of worlds previously considered too dangerous for settlement. With human help, these planets could become new homes for Confederation species. Samantha presented medical research showing how Earth's biodiversity offered new treatments for alien diseases. Earth's harsh conditions created incredible biological diversity. Our plants and microorganisms evolved solutions to problems your worlds never faced. Lisa demonstrated construction techniques from Earth designed to withstand earthquakes, floods, and extreme weather. These simple methods could make Confederation colonies safer on worlds you currently avoid. The Council listened with growing interest. After the presentations, High Counselor Vex Nar called for a vote. The result was unanimous. Earth would be granted full membership in the Galactic Confederation. But there was more. Vex Nar announced a special designation for Earth. It would no longer be classified as a Class 13 Deathworld. Instead, it would be designated as a Class E evolutionary Crucible, the only planet in the known galaxy with this classification. This new designation recognizes the unique role Earth has played in creating a species that not only survives extreme conditions, but thrives in them and helps others do the same, Vex Nar explained. As the human delegation prepared to return to Earth with news of their new status, they received requests from over 40 Confederation species seeking permission to establish scientific and cultural exchanges on Earth. The species that once feared humanity now saw them as guides to surviving in a universe far harsher than their evolutionary experiences had prepared them for. 2 months later, William stood on a hill overlooking the new Confederation Embassy complex in Colorado. The facility was built to allow alien visitors to gradually adapt to Earth conditions in specialized habitats. Dozens of alien scientists, diplomats, and students had already arrived, eager to learn from the Deathworlders. Olivia joined him, watching alien visitors taking their first cautious steps outside their environmental suits, feeling Earth's full gravity and breathing its oxygen-rich air for short periods. They still struggle with the simplest things, William observed as an alien diplomat carefully lifted a small rock, marveling at its weight. "They're learning," Olivia replied. "Just like we're learning from them. Their technology, their knowledge of the galaxy, their different perspectives, we need all of that." "It's a fair exchange," William agreed. "They get our strength and adaptability. We get their wisdom and technology." In the distance, a group of alien children watched in amazement as human children played soccer, running and jumping with what seemed to the aliens like supernatural speed and endurance. "You know what the Arthurians are calling us now?" Olivia asked with a smile. "Life bringers. They say we bring life to worlds they thought were dead." William laughed. "Not bad for scary Deathworlders." "That's just it," Olivia said thoughtfully. "Earth isn't a death world. It's the opposite. Because of its challenges, life on Earth evolved to be more resilient, more adaptable. We don't just survive, we help others survive too." As the sun set over the mountains, casting golden light across the embassy complex, William thought about how far they had come. From feared outsiders to valued allies in less than a year. The very traits that made humans dangerous in the eyes of the Confederation had ultimately made them essential. "You know what I realized?" William said quietly. "Earth isn't just a death world because it's physically harsh." Olivia nodded. "It's a death world because it produced us. Beings who look at the impossible and see opportunity. And that's exactly why they need us." Together they watched as human and alien children played together on Earth's soil, the first generation of a new era where the Deathworlders would help bring life to the stars.